What's going on, everybody? Listen to the Baseball Goombas. Today is July 31st, 2018. A little special podcast edition with the trading deadline here. Quick turnaround from Sunday's podcast. Where, a lot of deals went down in the past 48 hours. So me and Chris just wanted to hop on and give our thoughts on a lot of moves that happened.
Chris Goomba.
Chris Goomba.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. It is the trade deadline today.
Yep.
And there are a boatload of deals we want to get into.
There's too many to even go all the way through, so we just picked our favorites or felt like were the most impactful.
We took some key deals from late last night, and this afternoon, and we are excited to get into business and talk about what happened.
Yep.
And we are going to start with
none other than Tommy Pham.
the surprise deal, kind of outfielder Tommy Pham.
Yeah, so the Rays acquired outfielder Tommy Pham from the Cardinals, along with international bonus pool money,
which has been all the rage this deadline. Everybody wants the bonus pool money.
Everybody wants it.
Everybody wants it.
And the Cardinals got back left-handed pitcher Genesis Cabrera, outfielder Justin Williams, who was a preseason number 10 in the Rays system, and right-handed pitcher Roel Ramirez. I looked at Justin Williams. He had okay numbers in AAA, but I think this really just opens the door for Harrison Bader, and they just recalled Tyler O'Neill, who's a slugger.
Exactly.
So he's hitting .311 in AAA with 26 home runs. So at first I didn't like the move. I think the Rays definitely benefited more than the Cardinals do, but I think they're getting a little overloaded with how they see their future in the outfield. Because Pham last year 306, 23 home runs.
Pham's definitely a late blossomer.
Yeah, I'm still expecting
30 years old, no?
Yeah, I'm still expecting good numbers from Pham. I think this year
he's a gritty player. He's good, but he kind of came crashing down to earth.
He did
this season thus far.
It's a good move for the Rays. They're rebuilding. They're still 500 ball club, which I don't think anybody saw coming. So.
They have zero pitchers. It's all bullpenning, and Kevin Cash is doing tremendous work
for
a
team that's not really in
fighting.
It, was pretty active for the trade deadline to help build.
The also reports surfaced that the relationship between the Cardinals and Pham kind of deteriorated a bit. The Cardinals are blowing up right now. They have
a lot of relationships aren't going well. Molina, Matheny, Pham.
The Cardinals are getting a new manager. They're building towards the future now. So they sold Pham off.
Yep.
And just like you mentioned, they got Tyler O'Neill coming and Harrison Bader coming.
It's really just to make room for O'Neill.
Oh, yeah.
Because they see him as definitely the future, and obviously Bader as well.
The Cardinals, they love to ship outfielders.
They love to they honestly, I've said this before, they have a very short leash. I mean, when you had Aledmys Diaz, I mean, he had a great rookie season, came back, wasn't so hot, boom, you're done. Get out. We're going to move on. We're going to go with the young. And that's the way they are. If they don't see you in the future,
quick hook.
They'll quick trigger to move on.
But you look at these outfielders, they had, listen to this, they had Pham, Jason Hayward, Piscotty, and Grichuk. Now, none of them were with the squad.
Yeah, they sounded quick turnaround. And Grichuk, I love. I was very surprised when Piscotty.
They're pretty good outfielders.
Yeah, they were all highly praised coming up through the system that these guys are major league outfielders, and they don't last long. Cardinals move quick.
With the Pham to the Rays, it's a fresh start, but maybe he'll benefit with a fresh start in Tampa. He's arbitration eligible, so it's a veteran piece to help them contend. And we'll see
if he can get anything back to 2017 numbers. That's a great move. Even though this year, 248, he still has 14 home runs, 41 ribs, 10 stolen bases. He's kind of an all-around guy. So I think he just really needs to just get his average up 30 points, and it's definitely a good move for them.
I would say for me, advantage slightly Cardinals. They got back 3 guys and money. And 3 guys for Pham who, like we just said, you got Bader and O'Neill coming through the pipeline. So Pham expendable, and the relationship strained a little bit. So you got three youngsters to build around and see how they develop. So
I'm a little torn because I think Pham is a great get for the Rays, but I also think it's great that the Cardinals can now just focus on Tyler O'Neill and Bader. So to me, I'm kind of split on the trade. I think it kind of worked for both teams.
What I liked, and it's kind of a sleeper for me, is the trade of Brad Ziegler to the Diamondbacks. So the Marlins traded Brad Ziegler back to the D-backs.
Yep.
So he was there before.
Yep.
For right-handed pitcher Tommy Veld.
Yep. Low-level prospect.
Also, the Rangers traded reliever Jake Deichmann to the D-backs for right-handed pitcher. Excuse me when I butcher this name, Wei Chi Huang, and a player to be named later. Yeah. So the Diamondbacks, they're going
in the pen,
Diamondbacks are loading up the bullpen. It's Ziegler. When you think of Brad Ziegler, you don't think of anything sexy, but he gets the job done. He has struggled a little bit in the early going this season, but recently in the last 20
good veteran piece,
last 28 games, his ERA sits at .64.
Brad Ziegler, you can never get mad at a team for going after Brad.
He's
Ziegler.
a ground ball pitcher.
His whole career, he's pitched well. 2.72 ERA for his career, and like you say, he's a ground ball pitcher. He'll get you those double plays.
Arizona, they're going for it. They're shoring up the back end of the bullpen and then looking to make a run. In the postseason, trying to get to the postseason, and it gives Lovolo options in the seventh inning, mix it and match with now Deichmann. Yoshi Hirano, who's having a nice season, and he helps bridge the gap to Bradley and Boxberger. And speaking of those two guys, with the addition of Brad Ziegler, now they got Ziegler, Brad Boxberger, and Archie Bradley. So that's pretty fun.
But very similar. So I think the winner there is clearly the D-backs.
Oh yeah, advantage D-backs. Definitely for me. I like how they came out of that.
But if the Braves were looking for the same exact thing, I mean they went after Darren O'Day and unfortunately Kevin Gausman. But Darren O'Day is the exact same career as Brad Ziegler, with the exception that Darren O'Day will get you more Ks, but he's the same thing. Career 2.56 ERA. They both came up in 2008. They're both ground ball pitchers. He'll get you the double play. So I mean, they both were kind of looking for that same type of reliever. And then in Gausman,
I don't like him.
We've never been.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gausman.
4.22 in his 6-year career. I just feel like he's always giving up runs.
Every
start, he's giving up runs.
He's talented. He's got potential, but I'm tired of the Kevin Gausman ceiling that hasn't been reached yet. And he was playing in Camden Yards, but each start, I mean, he'll have one start.
Always win this deal.
Thanks. I don't want him. No thanks.
And the fact that they're just unloading these
starters. They're just getting all these young prospects and international money. And
get rid of these stars. Get rid of all of your starters.
That's what they're doing.
You're one of the worst rotations in baseball. You got a nice haul in return. Right-handed pitcher Evan Phillips, infielder Giancarlos Encarnacion, who was the Braves' number 14 prospect at third base. Catcher Brett Cumberland was their number 30 prospect, and then you got left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, they're getting these guys. They're stocking up for the future, and that's what they're 40, 50 games under 500.
And I did see that Rosenthal tweeted out that through all these deals, Orioles saved about 30 to 35 billion in payroll, which is a huge win for them, for a team that's got to rebuild. So
absolutely,
O's were a winner.
Overall, O's are definitely a winner. One thing that I'm not too sure about the Adam Duvall trade.
I'm sure.
So with that trade, Reds traded outfielder Adam Duvall to Atlanta Braves.
Stinks.
For right-handed pitcher Lucas Sims.
Yeah.
Both righties. Lucas Sims, Matt Whistler,
and
outfielder Preston Tucker. Listen, Duvall he's a nice guy, but he's been struggling. He's batting .205. He's got 15 home runs, 61 ribs. Okay, a change of scenery maybe.
He's already got 100 Ks.
But
he's never cracked 250 in a season. He never cracked 250. Career 233 hitter.
Obviously, the Reds feel good with youngster Jesse Winker in the corner outfield spot and Scott Schebler to dish Duvall away. He was an All-Star in 2016. In the last 2 years, 64 home runs. He's a Gold Glover finalist. He's controlled through 2021. Okay, he'll provide Atlanta with some nice right-handed punch.
I mean, to me, go ahead.
I think the Braves are just looking at Duvall's overall body of work.
They're looking at home runs and RBIs.
Low salary. I mean, he's got a low salary. And it's kind of a decent return for the Reds. They were all three guys are once all promising with upside.
Yeah. Especially
the Reds get the young pitchers. Lucas Sims probably the centerpiece of that deal. Future starter for them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna say advantage Reds on this one. with their return back for Duvall.
I agree.
I'm not too high on Duvall.
I'm not high on Duvall either. Like we were just saying, but Reds are always fishing for pitching.
Right, and they got
Lucas Sims and Matt Whistler. They haven't panned out.
No.
Lucas Sims was a first-round pick in 2012. You haven't seen anything good from him. Matt Whistler, with a 5.27 ERA out of the bullpen, he really hasn't been panning out either. I don't see what was wrong with having Preston Tucker as your fourth, fifth outfielder for the Braves. Hitting 256 this year, 10 doubles, 307 on base. I think when I'm seeing what the Braves are doing, I feel like just getting on base for the other guys is more important than having Adam Duvall have 170 Ks and maybe connecting. I didn't see the reason for getting Duvall.
So before I get into it real quick, was Adam Duvall John Goombas stink of the week?
It's my still, yeah. When I just said it, because he stinks.
Stinks of the week, right there.
He stinks.
Okay. Other than that, though,
I'm more than happy to use it on Duvall. I don't see it. 205.
Look what you just said. The outfielder, Preston Tucker, fourth outfielder. Isn't that what exactly Duvall is? Kind of.
Yeah, but
so you shipped Preston Tucker for this kind of this.
You gave away two other guys for
Adam Duvall for a fourth outfielder.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, the kind of the trickle down effect of this signing is. You're going to see Ender and Deer in Cariarte. Yeah. He's going to see his playing time essentially cut in half.
Yeah.
And
he's struggling though. It's unfortunate, but he's a platinum glove out there. But
it's just I don't know. It's a logjam. Duvall, Acuna, Ender, and Markakis, who's having a career year.
Yeah, I know.
So
I would stick.
And also it created the deal created two openings on the 40-man, and you got it created one spot already for the high prospect Colby Allard.
Oh yeah,
I think he's starting tonight.
Yeah, I heard he's coming.
So again, I just think the advantage goes to the Reds on that one with getting three guys back for Duvall, a 200 hitter with 160 strikeouts.
Yeah.
But what really stir the pot with me is the Osuna deal. Okay, let's get into the Osuna deal because it's I don't know. Blue Jays traded Roberto Osuna to the Astros for former punch thrower Ken Giles,
not himself,
pitchers Hector Perez and David Paulino. I get it, Osuna. Listen, not the way to do things in the world. Okay,
can't get away with that now.
You can't be doing that nonsense. There's no better description to say than nonsense.
It's nonsense.
But what this deal comes down to essentially is the Blue Jays just getting rid of the problem that they didn't want anymore.
We got a problem. I don't want to deal with it.
And rightfully so. But when Osuna, without this whole thing hovering over him like a black cloud, last year, 2 years ago, he was lights out.
Lights out.
I mean, he was a great closer. He's a great reliever.
36 saves in 16, 39 in 17, and his ERA was 2.93 this year with 9 saves before he got suspended. So we all know he's a solid closer. I guess it's hard to say like win because it's such an odd situation. But I feel like the Astros absolutely won. They got a closer that they needed. That they didn't trust in Ken Giles.
The Astros, right? Ken Giles is Ken Giles. He's not all that great.
I wish I saved my stinks for Ken Giles.
And now it's kind of a lose-lose. We say Ken Giles stinks, and he's got an attitude problem. But you talk about Roberto Osuna, kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I know.
But the Astros, if they face the Yankees, if they face the Red Sox, they're going to need to solidify that bullpen. And Roberto Osuna is a great arm.
Yeah.
Osuna kills the Yankees if the Astros go there and face the Yankees like they did last year.
With the closer.
Yeah. 29 games against the Yankees, his ERA sits at .87. So that's maybe something they had in mind.
Let's get the bat on the ball there.
And now they got Hector Rondon, who's filled in capably. So you add him into the mix, and McHugh. I mean, he's lights out now too. His transition to the bullpen is wild. So again, with the suspension issues, we get it. We're not adding any more fire to that. That's not something that's appropriate.
No.
But as far as a baseball standpoint, he's a good get for the Astros.
Basically, the Blue Jays got rid of their problem with Osuna's actions, and the Astros got rid of their problems, but just with pitching. Paulino was suspended for 80 games in 2017 for PEDs. Hector Perez is actually a decent AA prospect. Ken Giles, and his numbers speak for themselves. This year, 4.99 ERA, but the postseason last year, where he was atrocious, was an 11.74. So they really just needed to just get rid of him and just not even have to worry about it. Maybe bringing this guy in because he's the next guy up because he's your big spot guy. They just needed to get rid of him, so it wasn't even an option. And they brought in a better pitcher.
And within the Osuna trade to bolster the bullpen, they also traded for Ryan Presley from the Twins.
Yeah.
So that was a nice get too because Presley, he's underrated.
Yeah.
3.40 his ERA 3.40, 47 to 2/3 innings in pitch, 69 strikeouts. So now you add Presley into the mix, and they got Presley, Rondon, Osuna, McHugh. So they're shoring up that bullpen just like Arizona's doing to make a run in the postseason. And it's two. The advantage here goes to both, kind of split down the middle with the Astros and the Jays because the Jays just see you later. That's what they wanted to do. So.
Exactly. So let's jump into the two Yankee moves because Yankees were
the Yankee moves.
Yeah. So
interesting.
So Lance Lynn was they acquired Lance from the Twins as well as cash considerations. And they sent over Luis Rijo and then boxer Tyler Austin. But I'm
strange. It was strange.
I'm split here too. Lance.
They're covering. They're just covering the rotation. That's what they're doing. They're covering the rotation.
So that's the thing. They need to cover themselves because this rotation is so questionable. You bring over Lance Lynn, who before this season he was 72-47 with a 3.38 career ERA.
Not terrible.
No, he was a solid
4-5 guy.
I'd give him 3.
He had a nice 3. I don't know about 3.
I'll give him a 3.
Pushing it.
Nah,
I don't
3.
know about Lance Lynn as a third
guy. Third man. Third man up.
Mud on the meat.
But anyway, this season with the 5.1 ERA, it just wasn't working out for the Twins deal.
Right. So now he goes to the Yankees in a pennant race, and maybe it'll rejuvenate him.
And Tyler Austin, he never got going at the MLB level.
He can't crack the lineup with the Yankees. He can't do it. I think he's a high energy guy. I like him. Yankee fans are going to remember him for the brawl and Joe Kelly.
Yeah, I agree.
That's exactly what they're going to all remember him for. But let's be honest, he was blocked at the major league level by Bird. So now Neil Walker is going to shift over, and they even traded for Luke Voit. So now you got Luke Voit there. So with the addition of Luke Voit, the addition of Mr. Luke Voit. I made Tyler Austin expendable, and I hope he goes to Minnesota and he latches on and he has an everyday role because I think he will. I think he could be the first baseman. Joe Mauer's not getting any younger.
It's the problem with the Yankees. There's too much talent and not enough spots.
Right, and Tyler Austin was the fall guy, and same with Adam Warren. Yeah. We'll talk about him in a second.
Yeah, but the other guy that was part of that deal, Luis Rijo, just a 19-year-old low A prospect. You just don't know.
But that's right, low A prospects. So that's the thing.
He was doing well. He had good numbers.
We talk about we talked about it on Sunday. We talked about the big guns, the Bumgarners and the DeGroms and the Noahs. In order to get those guys, they have big prospects. Yeah, so what does Cashman do? He acquires Happ and he acquires Lance Lynn without giving up top prospects. That was the goal.
Just praise one of them fans out.
So now you got Happ. After Sevy, CC, and Tanaka, you got Happ, and you have Lance Lynn. So if if somebody gets hurt, if you want to skip Severino a turn or two, you have a double header. Now you got Happ and you got Lynn now. So you got some bodies to solidify that rotation. Yeah. And he also has, just much like Happ, Lance Lynn has good career numbers against the Red Sox. So I said last time 7-4 for Happ, 2.98 against the Red Sox. Lance Lynn career 5 starts, 30 innings pitched. His ERA is 1.80. So again, I don't know if they're ever gonna admit it, but with a eye on catching the Red Sox, they're looking at Lynn and Happ as serviceable pitchers, arms against Boston.
Yeah.
But Warren,
I don't get it.
Odd. It was a little odd.
I don't get it.
First of all, the trade. It was just Adam Warren for money, for international money.
International money. Who's having a good year.
He's always been a good pitcher.
I know, but I don't understand why you're getting
Swiss
rid of
Army
it.
knife does everything.
Why are you getting rid of this?
Well, again, right when I saw that, I was confused, a little head scratcher. Initially, I was like, why are you helping out Seattle with the potential with the potential to see them?
You could face them in
a wild card game. And you're going to see Warren, who
if he comes in the 6th and 7th and mows you down, you're gonna feel stupid.
He's a versatile guy. He does it all. 24 games, ERA 2.70.
11 Ks per 9. He's dealing.
So they just dealt 2 other relievers in Giovanni Gallegos and Chasen Shreve. So now you got Adam Warren. So they're just kind of reshaping that bullpen with the addition of Britton.
Yeah.
So again, these guys are expendable, but
I get Shreve
I don't know
expendable, but
yeah,
I don't know. I won't understand it.
Strange
For cash. I don't understand it. It's not something you do against a contender at the trading deadline. You maybe do it at the end of the season, going to the winter meetings.
Very, very odd. Never was a flashy guy, but he did what was asked of him, and he always seemed to get the job done. So maybe it's a salary dump. I don't know. I'm just gonna say advantage Mariners because it helps. Also,
it helps them for the run right now.
Also, maybe that means that Cashman, Boone, and company, they're looking at Chance Adams, Justice Sheffield down the line, maybe to come in.
I mean, but
Tommy Conley's coming back soon.
I get that, but those guys are not questionable at the major league level to come out of the pen. This guy's proven it.
So overall, I'm going advantage Seattle with that. To Adam with column A and everyday Edwin.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to jump into now? Kinsler?
Let's go Kinsler.
We got a lot of names down here. Let's jump to Kinsler. So speaking of Yankees, we jump to the Red Sox.
Nice get.
Yeah, I agree. So the Red Sox here, you're getting Kinsler, career 272.
You know what you're getting with this guy.
He's
proven
a
veteran,
but he has dropped the past 2 seasons. 236 last year, 239 this year. Did win a Gold Glove in 2016, 4-time All-Star. Angels are going to eat half the contract. They're going to eat $1.8 million at a 3.6. I think this is
it's
a good
protection against Dustin Pedroia. That's what it is.
This is all it is.
They had to go out and get somebody.
Go out and get a veteran like Kinsler, decent glove who can maybe come out of this 230 area. Honestly, they don't even need the bat.
No, they don't need the bat.
So just have that veteran presence.
It's a great move for Boston. I hate to say it, but it's a great move for Boston.
It's a good move.
Again, it kind of stamps that Dustin Pedroia is not coming back this season. And it's Kinsler's a second base placeholder. That's what he is.
Yeah.
And they don't need offense, but whatever they want to give him, they'll take.
Yeah.
He's a great glove. Obviously, he's an upgrade over Nunez and Brock Holt. Uh-huh. So that they shift the Kinsler addition shifts Holt and Nunez back to utility roles. Third base duties with Devers out, going to split maybe between Holt and Nunez.
You needed that extra infield.
So you needed a Kinsler, and they went out and got a veteran guy that can provide pop.
Smart.
Very smart deal for Boston.
Angels,
they're underachieving. Angels are underachieving once again, wasting Mike Trout again. That's the whole issue. And they got two guys to pair with Middleton down the road because Kenny Middleton's probably going to be a closer. You got Cam Berdosian, who hasn't really panned out, but he's got some huge upside. They didn't deal Blake Parker today, so they got another guy. And, just selling pieces off. So
Angels did something very similar to what the Mets did last year in their season. They basically just went out and got 2 AAA bullpen guys in Ty Buttrey and Williams Jerez. They just had 2 AAA guys that have decent ERAs, and they're just going to see if they pan out. And that's what the Mets did last year. They got like 6. How many bullpen guys? Every trade was a almost major league ready bullpen guy. So
absolutely,
I haven't really seen any of them pan out yet, but still time.
Advantage Boston with that, hands down.
I agree.
What I also was a big fan of Brad Ziegler, and I'm also a big fan of the Rangers trade of Keone Kela to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pirate for 2 players to be named later. Pirates believe Pirates they're this deadline have been buying and hoping that everything pans out because they are shooting for the postseason. Pittsburgh's got to believe they compete for the NL wild card spot. They're only 3.5 games back. Kela has been great as the Texas closer. He's 24 saves and 25 tries. His ERA is 3.44. 36 2/3 innings pitched, only 14 earned runs and 44 strikeouts. And now when you add Kela and the 8th inning guy pair with all-star closer Felipe Vasquez.
Yep.
So it's a night, and you can mix and match now.
It's good back end of the pen there,
I think it's quite a dynamic duo, and they shorten games, and one can spell the other. You want to go with Vasquez one night after he's pitched, 2 or 3 days, And out of the last 5, now you get another closer. You got Keone Kela.
Yeah.
Vasquez, all-star. 63 strikeouts, 3.02 ERA, 23 saves. Kela's numbers, he did that in the tough AL West.
Yeah.
So you got the Astros there, the A's. So and the Rangers, they're Rangers. They're struggling, selling off top guys to get premium return, and teams.
Surprised Beltray didn't go anywhere.
Teams covet late inning guys, and Pirates wanted Kell and they got him. So big advantage to Pittsburgh on that one, on Chris Goombas' end.
Moving on. So we saved some major deals here for the end here. When I jump into Jonathan Scope for the Brew Crew.
I don't get this. I'm sorry.
It's for the O's. For the O's.
Sure.
They get it.
Sure.
You know, it's like I said before, a salary dump. They're just freeing up their payroll to rebuild. I get it.
So the deal was what?
So basically, the Brewers get Jonathan Scope and the Orioles get Jonathan VR. Who I mean, he's shown signs of good seasons. 2016.
He's a boring player.
He's boring.
He's got speed.
62 stolen bases in 16.
So quite a lot.
But you haven't really seen that since. That's the whole thing. Yeah. Right-handed pitcher Luis Ortiz and infielder Jean Carmona. So I mean, I just don't get that. I don't
for the Brewers. I really don't.
I don't see what's wrong with VR that you needed to go get a struggling Scope. He's not having a good year. He's a 244. He's not having a good year.
He's a nice player, but geez, Milwaukee
he's hurt in the beginning of the year.
They're getting all the big bodies, just getting all the big bats. How many home runs can you hit? The infield's ridiculous. They got Travis Shaw, Jonathan Scope now, and Moose. They acquired Mike Moustakas a couple days ago. You don't need all this. Where are these guys going to play?
It's the same 2 positions.
I mean, VR was on the DL, or is on the DL, I believe, and he's coming back in a week or so. But with Scope now, you got no use for VR, so obviously VR is shipped.
Awesome.
But now, what goes on in that infield? Shortstop, second base, first base. You're gonna have Moose playing second base. Not a nimble guy.
Initially, they're moving Travis Shaw to second base, and if he can't do it because he's never played before, then they're gonna move Moose, who's also never played.
It's strange.
It's weird.
It's strange. It's a strange decision to
no
get
experience
him.
At these positions, and they're just gonna throw him over there like it's easy.
They're saying reports surface that Scope is gonna play shortstop in Milwaukee. He has played shortstop at times in the minors.
Yeah,
but still,
he's not the range. Doesn't have the range.
Listen, the Brew Crew, the lineup is nice, and with the addition of Scope, it's a nice bat. They can contend, but for me, the big issue is where's the starting pitching? Where was the starting pitcher that more? I mean, you saw they were looking at Zach Wheeler. You saw they were looking at Syndergaard. Even Matt Harvey, which I don't think.
He's settled in.
I don't think a Matt Harvey acquisition for the Brewers.
It's not make or break, but it's a nice. Right now, he's a nice piece because he's actually settled in pretty well in Cincinnati.
But they went. Yes, you got August waivers, but you got where's the starting pitcher? Listen to this: Junior Guerra, Chase Anderson, a young Freddie Peralta, and Zach Duke. I don't know if he's coming back or what's going on with him, but that rotation is going to get you far. No. I mean, if they land in the 1-game playoff, who are you throwing with? Chase Anderson, Junior Guerra? I'll take my shot with the other team, whoever they'll face. That was the thought, starting pitcher, and I don't believe they have enough. And Jonathan Scope does nothing for me with the Brewers. Yeah. So for me, advantage 100% Baltimore Orioles. Yeah, 100% Baltimore.
Just for the salary dump alone.
Archer, let's go Archer.
You want to go Archer?
I want to go Chris Archer.
Oh, God.
So the Tampa Bay Rays, they traded starting pitcher, a long-time starting pitcher on that team, Chris Archer, to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Brutal.
Shocker. Pittsburgh Pirates, they're just
wheeling and dealing. They came out of nowhere with that one.
Wheeling and dealing.
I'll give them that.
For outfielder Austin Meadows, starting pitcher Tyler Glasnow, and a player to be named later. So Pittsburgh pulling out all the stops again, and they're going for it, and they're active here. Bolster the front end of the rotation with Archer. Fresh start. Maybe it'll help out Archer, but Rays. The advantage here, I know we say it at the end, but I'm going to say the advantage right here for me. I have no idea. I'm torn.
My
with
advantage. My advantage is Rays.
I'm torn between
100
right down the middle, 50-50.
Nope, 100% Rays.
100% Rays is outrageous.
100% Rays.
They did what I do like. They got 2 major league caliber players. Glasnow's got to figure it out. He's got talent, but he's got to figure it out.
Glasnow.
He's much like Charlie Morton, a big guy who has figured it out.
Yeah.
And you got Meadows, who's a nice player. He's a nice outfielder. He's had a nice season so far. He's losing opportunity now. But now with the acquisition of Tommy Pham, you combine him with Meadows. So that's a nice outfielder. Pham and Meadows.
It is. That's why the Rays are winning. But no, so Chris Archer, I've just never been a fan.
I thought he was great. I really do. He's struggled. He's fallen off a little bit.
16 and 17, his ERAs were over 4. He has
a bad Rays team.
He gets you 2. Still tell DeGrom that. Tell DeGrom tell Wheeler about the ERAs. You could still pitch well. Like I'm not gonna get on him for his 9 and 19 and his 10 and 12, but I'm gonna get on him for his being an ace and having the last 2 seasons at an ERA over 4. Okay, and now this year he's got a 4.31 ERA and 102 Ks. If I want a 4 ERA and 200 Ks, give me Vince Velasquez, because it's the same thing. You can't tell me that's not the same.
Archer's proven.
Proven what?
Proven
he's a 4 ERA. I just never liked him. I never got it. He's just a guy that strikes out a lot of guys, and it's just I don't know, impressive.
Is he going to help Pittsburgh?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Well, okay.
Joe Musgrove.
I thought
Trevor Williams.
They're fine.
Ivan Nova.
They're pitching well. They have a decent enough rotation where I didn't think that the rotation was the issue. Austin Meadows really bothers me they got rid of Austin Meadows in this deal.
He's a good outfielder. He's a good player.
He was a top 50 prospect for all 5 years he was in the minors. Okay, he was a career 291 in the minors with a 355 on base. And this year, coming up as a rookie, he's already hitting 292 with a 323 on base percentage, 8 doubles, 5 home runs, 13 runs, 4 stolen bases. He's a guy that's going to do it all. And they were never giving him a chance because their outfield was always full. Mm-hmm. And now they're just going to, as soon as he gets up, he's doing well like he's supposed to be doing, and they're shipping him off. Glasnow, you're right, he's never figured it out. Career 5.79.
But I think he has the tools to do it.
He does have the tools.
He's a lanky guy.
I was high on Glasnow. 7.69 ERA as a starter last year. This year they dropped him to the pen, and he still couldn't figure it out. So I think they just kind of gave up on Glasnow. I could see giving up on him for going to get Archer, who's consistently a 4 ERA. I'll give him that.
Oh my gosh!
But to give up a guy like Meadows, I don't understand, because I could see Meadows is going to be a multi-time All-Star in his career.
Again, I love the pairing with Pham and Meadows together with the Rays. I think they can contend with that.
Archer,
but it's this. To me, it's the same thing in Milwaukee. Maybe Pittsburgh with a slightly uptick in value when they didn't have Archer in the starting rotation. I'd rather have Nova. Trevor Williams is very this season has
he's very this season.
Has pitched well. His ERA is under 4.
Yeah.
But with
better than Archer.
with the addition of Archer, I think it makes the front end of the rotation better. I do, and I like it. I like it, and I don't at the same time. So that's why I'm torn. Maybe I'll sleep on it. I'll get a new reaction tomorrow morning. But for right now, I'm split right down the middle, 50-50. I know John Goombas 100% on Tampa on that, but we'll discuss that later.
Yeah.
Wilson Ramos to the Phillies. Tampa also wheeling and dealing, much like the Pirates. They traded catcher Wilson Ramos to the Phillies for a player to be named later.
Or
cash.
Whatever they decide.
Wilson is on the DL right now. Injury concerns. He has some health issues.
Hamstring. He's expected to be back in. They're expecting
mid-August.
2 weeks. So we'll see. Hopefully,
so as far as the immediate impact, there's no immediate impact with Philly. So,
but if he is healthy in 2 weeks,
it's great. It's a great get.
It's a great get for the Phillies.
If he comes back without no setbacks and he plays the rest of the season, Philadelphia makes the postseason. I think it's a great get. He's a great defensive catcher. It upgrades the catchers. And the Phillies haven't had a catcher in a decade.
Chooch. When
really?
Carlos Ruiz was young, that he was good. He was good for
he was an all-star 297 this season.
Yep.
It wasn't All-Star, but seeing he was an All-Star.
Yeah.
297, 14 home runs, 53 RBIs.
He hits. He's consistent.
He's got some pop. It helped. It's obviously going to upgrade the offense and the lineup.
22 home runs last year.
It's obviously an upgrade over Knapp and Alfaro.
Knapp is not a major league catcher.
No, he's a backup.
Alfaro.
Throw mine, really.
Alfaro was a great
prospect.
It was a great prospect when they got him from the Rangers, but he's just really, 254, 7 home runs, 23 ribs. He's really just not. He's not at the level that everybody was expecting Alfaro to be at. So I agree. It's a good pickup for this year to try and make that run.
The Philly catchers this season collectively are hitting 244. So obviously the Ramos
300.
Yeah,
300
Ramos again. If he's healthy, he's going to help that lineup.
Yeah.
And now they added Asdrubal, so he's another veteran bat in the lineup. And
good contact guys.
Phillies, it's going to be a dogfight between the Phillies and the Braves to see who's going to come out of that NL East.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on the Nationals. I think they're a disaster.
I think they're done.
They're only 5 out or so, or 6 out. But I don't see it. I don't see
a run in them.
And it's a shame because you think, look at that roster and it's
wasted. They wasted so many years. And now Harper, if he goes, then the whole thing's going to crumble. And they're going to wind up rebuilding from square one.
P.S. Bryce Harper was not traded today.
Yeah.
Okay, just something I'm going to throw that out there. He was not traded
last
today.
second, all of a sudden, he's on the block.
Then another thing, throughout the day, the Nationals, and even the weeks leading up to it and the days leading up to the deadline today, I feel like the Nationals, they literally change their tune like every other minute.
Sure. 1 minute
they're going to be
lose
buyers.
A game, we're gonna sell. Now we win a game, we're gonna buy.
That weekend series with the Marlins, is that going to be what are we going to do if we lose 1? If we lose 2, we win 2. It was ridiculous. It's not how you go about it. It's not how you do it. It's not how you go about business in a Major League Baseball team. It's not what you do. It's just every other second was a new thing. Yeah, today it's like throwing the Rizzo and Martinez were waking up every morning and throwing a dart at a dartboard, and if one was we're gonna sell, and one we're gonna buy, and it was ridiculous. So obviously
they went out and got Herrera, and then they were talking about trading Herrera.
Yeah,
come on, make a decision here. You guys in it or you out? You in or you out?
Make up your mind. So with the Ramos trade, obviously advantage Philadelphia. One last trade we want to get into,
last but not least,
is the Twins trading second baseman Brian Dozier to the Dodgers for Logan Forsythe, outfielder Luke Raley.
Dodgers are not messing
and left-handed pitcher Devin Smeltzer.
Yep, you got
it. And the Dodgers are not messing around at all. And they had the acquisition Machado 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And now you add
it's amazing.
Dozier.
You had Corey Seager. I know Corey Seager's been up most of the year, but you had a Corey Seager as your shortstop, and then you actually upgraded Corey Seager.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible to even do that. And then you just upgraded second base, too. Because Logan Forsythe's just not the player.
Nah, he fizzled out.
He fizzled real quick.
He was with the Rays.
2015, he had 281. Then he had 264. Then he had 224.
Yeah.
And this year's
injury, he got hurt.
207.
Injuries played a big role, but he just fizzled, flamed out.
Thanks, but no thanks, Logan. And then you just got two. They just gave up, 2 AA. Low-ranked prospects in Luke Raley.
It's no surprise that Dozier has pop. I mean, he was in the home run derby. No,
yeah,
2 years ago.
42 home runs in 2016. 42 home runs. Who saw that coming? Nobody saw that coming. Out of a small second baseman like Dozier.
Advancing that in the past 5 seasons, 143 home runs, and that's by a second baseman.
Yeah.
No less.
42 from a second baseman is
so Dozier's an all-star. He's been around. He's been a staple in Minnesota. So it's kind of crappy for the Twins to say goodbye to him, but
slumped a little bit this year. But I still think it's a good get because you know what he's capable
of. The main thing with the Dodgers, they have struggled. Their second baseman has struggled against left-handed pitching, and Dozier is slashing since 2015. Dozier against lefties is hitting 272, so that's a fix right there.
There you go.
So with the addition of Machado and Dozier. Dodgers are being the Dodgers. I mean, you look at the acquisition years ago with Manny Ramirez.
Yeah.
And Dodgers are always looking to go for it, always looking to wheel and deal. And LA tried to get Dozier 2 years ago, but that never materialized. So Minnesota, they're just not. They just don't have it. They're kind of similar to Texas.
Yeah.
Just not all there, so they're shipping off pieces. And they get Forsythe and two, like you said, two low guys, and see if that pans out. But with that advantage, obviously I'm going with the Dodgers.
Yeah, me too. But just one last note quickly on the Mets, because that's what we talked about.
What do we want about the Mets now?
I've been reading a lot that people think the Mets are losers at this trading deadline. And
they are.
No, I strongly disagree.
Before you even say what you want to say, all I'm going to say is the Mets best win next year. Best. That's all I'm going to say.
No,
if they keep all those pitchers,
that's what I'm going to get at.
What I'm going to get at. Build the team around that starting pitching. They best win. Okay, because the other positional depth, it's no secret that there is nothing.
So my
Go ahead.
My thing is,
I'm done.
Everybody's looking at the Mets starting pitchers, whether it was DeGrom, Syndergaard, or Wheeler. Those are the three big names that you heard during the trading deadline. But these guys are under control for a couple years, so we wanted the world. This is something that could be accomplished, say, the winter meetings. This didn't need to be done at the trade deadline. So we keep hearing the Padres and Syndergaard. That's something that did not need to be rushed before the trading deadline because both teams are out. If they're really looking for an ace next year like Noah Syndergaard, and he's healthy, and he's going into spring training healthy, then maybe that's something that could be done with Fernando Tatis. I didn't want to see them force a trade of Zach Wheeler if they weren't going to get max return, which they said they weren't getting.
I agree with that. I'm not saying they should have forced anything, but again, what it comes down to is they best win next year.
But if they come into the next season with this same rotation and the same exact lineup with Frazier and Bruce and Olymp and Cespedes, then I'll have a problem. But as of right now, I don't think they're losers. Talk to me after the winter meetings. I'll let you know if they're losers or not.
They're losers, okay? Give me a piece of paper. I'm gonna write a big L on it, get it, and cut it out and put it on your forehead to symbolize the Mets as losers at this trade deadline. Okay, I don't care. That's it. They're losers.
But that's what I had to say about that.
I'm glad you spoke up about that. But the Mets, no, they're losers. But today was a great day. We look forward to this day every year.
A lot of moves.
The last hour or so kind of heated up. It was boring. Yeah. Well, it wasn't. Today was boring, but pre-deadline, leading up to the deadline for weeks, I mean, there were moves left and right. Yeah. So everything kind of was done and materialized before the trade deadline. But today, obviously, fun. Last hour and even the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, seriously.
With Dozier and
Archer
and Schoop. Yeah. So looking forward to the second half of the season and see what playoff runs, postseason runs, and we'll be there before you know it. So, guys, hope you enjoyed our special edition, our MLB Trade Deadline edition of the Goombas, the baseball Goombas. As always, thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, our iTunes, our SoundCloud, and be sure to give the Goombas a follow on our Twitter @WeAreTheGoombas.
Hey.
The Goombas are gone. Salud.
Arrivederci.